This video features the bass parts that are present during the pre-chorus of the song. The guitar and bass parts in this section of the song have been broken down into two videos because there are too many details and the final video would have been nearly a half hour long. The pre-chorus first appears at 53 seconds on your timer. It reappears for the second time at 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The third and final appearance will be at 3 minutes and 31 seconds beneath the guitar solo. The tuning used in this video and on the record is E flat and 440 wavelength calibration. If you're unsure how to tune the E flat, please watch the video on this channel, E flat tuning and enharmonic notes for guitar and bass by Marc Wilson, and then return. On the measure leading into the pre-chorus, the bass and drums are going to accent together note for note. This one measure may seem insignificant and simple, but this is what good drummers and bass players do. There are two individuals that play together as one unit. With the 4-count lead-in, this is what that one measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4. Okay, I'm going to explain what I did there in detail. The 1 and 2 and, that's 4/8 notes picked down, up. That's accenting tightly with two bass drum beats, the snare, and a bass drum beat. If you watch my knee in my left hand and pretend this is the bass drum and snare, you'll have 1 and 2 and. On the 3 and, just like this, 3 and. Okay, that is 4/16 notes. Notice the picking technique. Down, up. What we're doing there is accenting with a little fill on the drums. The first two beats are going to be on the tom, the next one will be on the floor tom, and the last one will be on the bass drum, just like this. 3 and. And on the 4, we're going to place the third finger, and we're using the third finger for a reason here. Okay, we're going to place that third finger on the E string at the 12th fret, we're going to pick it down, and we're going to slide on 4. This is going to be a quarter note. We're using the third finger because when we go into the bridge, we're going to start out using that finger on the 3rd fret where we're going to slide to. So here's what we're going to have. 4. Okay? What the drums are doing on that beat is they're hitting the snare with the left hand and accenting on a crash cymbal at the same time. So once again, that one measure is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4. Now that we've finished up the measure leading into the pre-chorus, your third finger should already be on the G note located on the 3rd fret of the E string. We're going to play a 4 measure long pattern here. The pattern is going to be pretty much straight 8th notes except for the last half of the 4th measure. We're going to play these first two, counted 1 and picked down up on the G. And then on 2, we're going to pick this down and put the first finger on the A string at the 1st fret. This is either an A sharp or a B flat, whichever you prefer to call it. On the and beat directly after 2, we're going to go back to the G and pick that up. This is what the first 4 notes are going to sound like. 1 and 2 and. From this point, we're going to put the first finger back down on the A string at the 1st fret. We're going to pick 3 more 8th notes, counted 3 and 4, pick down, up, down, just like this. 3 and 4. And on the final upbeat of that measure, the and beat, the middle finger is going to go down on the 2nd fret of the same string and pick it upwards, like this. So, with a 4-count lead-in, this is what the first measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to start out the second measure on that same B note. We're going to pick it twice on 1 and, down and up. And then we're going to go back to the 1st fret on that same string with the first finger. We're going to pick that down on 2. And we're going to pick the open A string up on the and beat directly after 2. This is what those first 4 notes of the second measure going to sound like? 1 and 2 and. With the 4 count lead in, let's do the first measure and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. From this point, we're going to go back to the G with that third finger. We're going to pick this down and up on 3 and we're going to close that second measure by putting the middle finger on the second fret of the E string. That's an F sharp. This will be picked 4 and, down up. This is what the last half of that measure is going to sound like. 3 and 4 and. With a 4 count lead in, let's do the first 2 measures of the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the third and fourth measures of the pattern are going to be easy because the third measure is going to be an exact repeat of the first measure. The fourth measure is going to start out the same way as the second measure. The only thing we're going to do differently is when we get to the G note, instead of playing 3 and 4 and like this, 3 and 4 and, we're going to use the same notes, but we're going to change the feel, and this is actually going to accent with another drum fill. It'll be counted 3 and a 4 and a, just like this, 3 and a 4 and a. Okay? So with the 4 count lead in, let's try that whole passage, all 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. Now that we have completed the pre-chorus, there are still 4 more measures before we get to the actual chorus of the song. We're going to revert back to what we did during the intro of the song. The second and third measures are going to be played exactly that same way. The first measure is going to have the same feel, but the last note is going to be different. Instead of going to this higher pitched E note located on the A string at the 7th fret and accenting that on the final upbeat of the measure, we're going to pick the open E string instead on the final upbeat, the final 16th note of the measure. So when we pick this up on the A beat and we pick down to start the next measure, it's going to be counted a 1, like this, 1, real quick. What we're doing there is accenting tightly with the bass drum. This accent only occurs 3 times in the entire song. The first time is at 1 minute and 6 seconds, the second time is at 2 minutes and 34 seconds, and the final time is during the guitar solo at 3 minutes and 44 seconds. With the 4 count lead in, let's do those first 3 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 1, and 1, and. Now here on the 4th measure, we're going to accent tightly with the drums once again. We're going to start out by playing 6 eighth notes, counted 1 and 2 and 3 and, pick down, up, down, up, down, up, just like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. What the drummer is doing is the left hand is going to be hitting one of the ride toms. The right hand is going to be hitting the floor tom. The bass drum is going to be accenting with these. It'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And on 4, the drummer's going to take that left hand and go from the ride tom to the snare and accent with 2 more eighth notes, counted 4 and. The right hand's going to stay on the floor tom. So this is what you're going to have. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On 4, you, the bass player, are going to place your first finger on the E string at the 12th fret and pick that down. You're going to, that's a quarter note, and you're going to slide like this, down in pitch. So with the 4 count lead in, this is what that last measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. With the 4 count lead in, let's put those 4 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 1, and 1, and and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's run through that entire process one time with the 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This song is a perfect example of a drummer and a bass player who play together as one unit. This epitomizes the meaning of the word teamwork. When a rhythm section can admit to individuality and work together as demonstrated in this song, the foundation of the band is much stronger and the entire band will sound better. If working with a drummer who refuses to learn the actual parts recorded in this song, who prefers to improvise instead, you will probably be unhappy. It won't fit together quite as precisely. For a demonstration of these bass parts played along with the guitars, please watch the guitar segment of the pre-chorus, which is part 3 of this 5-part analysis.